hope we got that on the video. My topic is the salary cap and the impact that it's had on professional sports leagues. New York Yankees spent $171 million more in the Pittsburgh Pirates this past year. Yet the New York Yankees lost money while the Pittsburgh Pirates not only turned a profit, they had enough money to pay their partners $20 million. If you follow a professional sports team, be it in the NBA, the NHL, the NFL, or the MLS, this applies to you. As you're following your team, as you're watching what they're doing in trades and free agency, the salary cap is going to come up. When it does, I want you to be educated about it. Why am I interested? I've had a lifelong love of sports, and I've always watched teams, and I've always heard about these trades and free agency, and I've heard of the salary cap, but I never really knew what it was. So naturally, when I had the opportunity to do a little bit of research and learn a little bit more about it, I was excited. Through the use of the salary cap, leagues attempt to create parity and also control team costs. What is it? It's a maximum and sometimes a minimum amount that teams are allowed to spend on their payroll in professional sports leagues. Like I mentioned earlier, the NBA, the NFL, the NHL, and the MLS all have a salary cap. Now we know a little bit about it. Is it effective? Like I said, one of the two main points the salary cap tries to do is it tries to create parity. The real question is, how do you define parity? If you define it by appearances in championship games, the answer is no. In the NBA, the Los Angeles Lakers and the San Antonio Spurs have appeared in 11 of the last 12 NBA championships. In the NFL, the New England Patriots and the Indianapolis Colts have appeared in 6 of the last 9 Super Bowls. If you define it as making it to the playoffs, the NBA is a sterling example, with all 30 teams making it to the playoffs in the last 7 years. Although the jury's still out on if it really creates parity depending on how you look at it, because it really can help teams control their costs. According to Matt Ozanian of Forbes magazine, 3 teams in the NBA brought in 64% of league profits, while 12 teams, that's 40% of the league, are currently running at a loss. With those numbers, it would appear that it really is not helping teams control their costs. Is the salary cap really necessary? Now that we know what it is, do we really need it? Do you really need to spend money to win games? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are a great example of a team that's doing it on a shoestring budget. They've got a payroll that's the smallest in the NFL, $97.4 million less than the Washington Redskins, yet they're 9-6 and they're on their way to the playoffs. Rachel Cohen of the Associated Press notes that among the top 10 NFL payrolls, 4 have already qualified for the playoffs, while 5 have only won 4 games. With the Redskins, the highest payroll in the NFL, are only 6-9. So clearly you don't necessarily need to spend money to win games, although in some instances it helps. On paper, the salary cap looks good. Looks like something that would really rein in spending by teams and really create parity in leagues. Yet in the real world, that hasn't always been the case. That's it.
Do we get to ask questions now?
You can ask questions. Unfortunately, I didn't do on the